I want to suck your blood.
Sorry, Angie. Count Gregore does it better.
No, I thought I did it pretty good, but yeah, that's probably true. He also has 50 more years experience.
Yeah, which is why we sat down with the Count.
To find out how to scare people?
No, Angie, to hear how he got his start. Take a look.
John Ferguson, known for Count Gregore.
Good evening.
50 years. Yes, please do the voice for us.
Good evening. How are you today, Angie?
Oh, I love it.
He swapped the cape for the Hawaiian shirt.
Yes.
I have to clean up my act. They say keep Oklahoma City beautiful, stay off the streets.
Oh.
I guess I'll prove it some way.
All right, tell us about Count Gregore. Gregore.
Well, that's Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That's Count Gregore. I'm used to. I understand that. The show's not long enough.
Oh yeah.
I tell you about Count Gregore. It started in May. I went on the air May the 10th, 1958. Wow. 11:30 on Saturday night on Channel 4, WKY-TV. Mm-hmm. Danny Williams was in front of the show from 10:30 to 11:30, following the news in Studio C, I think, at that time, and I was over in the other studio, set up, because I didn't have big sets. And anyway, and he would close off saying, "Good night, watch out for flying chairs."
Ooh.
And then next thing you know, it began. So first night, Saturday night, live, and came out,
wow.
Good evening, he said, "Good evening. This is Shock Theater, and I'm Count Gregore. Oh. I do hope that you'll be with me tonight.
Nice. And
be secure where you think you're safe, and maybe not.
Nice.
The doors and windows. Maybe you'd better check before."
Everybody's getting up.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was the start of it.
That was 1958. And
1958.
2008. So, what do you think when you hear people say the words, "Hey, I grew up with you"?
I'm honored. I am absolutely flattered.
Wow.
I am in awe. And I don't mean to be trite and maud. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying very honestly in my soul that I am so flattered.
Okay, so how did you come up with the idea? You created this character, right?
Well, in a way, that was kind of yes, I did, in a way, but I have to backtrack about how I got the character. Mm-hmm. Danny Williams had his afternoon kids show. It was the most popular local kids show in the nation. Mm-hmm. When they were running the Mickey Mouse Club, Danny Williams' show, the Space Science Center, was only one of two stations in the whole country that beat the Mickey Mouse Club,
wow.
which was the #1 rated show ever around there. They'll remember the kids then. But anyway, he was the hero. Foreman Scotty was on. He had the Circle 4 Ranch, and that was a little separate entity on its own. But Danny had this set up almost like a space science odyssey or a soap opera, because it was Monday through Friday, and it was a continuation. So I would sign on because they had what they call the smoke loop in 3D Danny. Was always dramatic. Says, "Go, all right, boys and girls, it's 4 o'clock. It's now time for the adventures of 3D Danny." Yeah. Remember last week when Bazarka was in trouble and Danny had to do it? So that's what we did in the announcing booth. And that's all I was doing, was an announcer. Well, there was a gentleman named Hy Roberts, who is now passed on, but he was a great talent, and he'd been in Hollywood, worked with Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland and Babes in Arm, and that was just the staff of people that WKY-TV had at that time, and I kept wondering, why am I here? How did I get here? But anyhow, he left to go to Albuquerque. So I thought, gosh, I got to get him on the show. There was no villain. So having stage makeup experience all that, I go back, and I remember Buck Rogers and the character Ming in the Funny Papers. So I sort of took that as a lead and example. So I went back and I put on dark eyebrows and black, because it was black and white television. Of course, the makeup and everything, highlight, and I had a black goatee, and I did the eyes dark, and I had a black shirt on, and a black pendant, and everything was just black, and I was very evil looking.
Wow.
Danny Williams is very visual. I had already talked to him 3 or 4 days before that, so I had an idea. And anyway, and so the pictures, Johnny Shannon took the pictures, didn't tell anyone. He's the photographer there, and took these pictures for me, gave them to me. So I was doing a radio program at noon, as I usually do it every day, and then Danny all of a sudden burst in there and said, "Ferguson, you haven't talked to me. What character? I got to get something going here." I said, "Danny, there's some pictures right there." He grabbed those pictures, and the next thing I knew, I heard the door go whoosh. He was gone. About 20 minutes later, he came back and says, "Ferguson, you're on the show."
Nice.
That was the evil Duke of Newton, which was a villain. Mm-hmm. That was the that was kind of a continuing character. Well, shortly thereafter, that was in about 57, and about late 57, about 58, I guess it would be, because I went on the air in May, so it had to be early, right there in that 58. The operations manager, program manager, came to me and asked me something about doing the show, my own show, and I thought, boy, they never asked me about doing the show. I'm the bottom rung in this organization. As an announcer. Oh, I really was.
Because you had a few months of experience on your belt at this point, right?
Well, yeah, I did. Oh, yeah. So anyway, they said they we're going to buy these late night horror films. It's called Shock. We're going to be in late night Saturday night. Could you create a character? Well, being a ham that I am, I've been in Hollywood, whatever. I'm not going to say no. So I had no idea, and they said, okay, here's what we want to do. Well, John Zachary was the host in Philadelphia, and it was becoming a phenomenon. I still have a Saturday Evening Post and Home, 1957, that was written about Zachary in Philadelphia. What a phenomenon. They went out one night and advertised for people to come down and we're going to give something away, and over 40,000 people mobbed that station.
Wow.
And that was 1957 in Philadelphia. So there was a lot of national publicity about the phenomenon that late night. Well, here's Channel 4, the major station at that time, and I'm going on the air. And so I went and did the makeup and got through there and got the cape, had it cut away, and somebody, I don't remember who, we come up with Count Gregore.
Wow.
And so we did a few practices going through it, looking at the cape and everything. And of course the cape was lined with light blue because it had to be, because of black and white, that would like white or look like a light gray.
Wow.
And so, again, it goes back Saturday night, May the 10th, 1958. Boom, there it was.
That's a lot of time in front of the camera.
Yeah, I think we have a long way to go to catch up.
We sure do. Watch 50 Years of Shock, Saturday night at 7 p.m. with Count Gregore.
The shock, the thrills, all the memories on Cox Channel 7.
See ya.
Let's see it.